Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Anchor or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch this crazy trio of guys on YouTube in this segment we like to call Lose With Us. Oh, I definitely feel like this is Lose with Dave this week. I took a beating that I don't think I've had all season long. But as you can see, as I mentioned, it's a trio. There's two other folks with, of course, my co-host Mike. And how the heck are you this evening,
So
sir?
good, Dave. It is hard when Syracuse football team is off and you can't double dip and get your early season success. So I'm not going to cry a river for your 1-3 week. So been there, done that a lot. Stevie covers live and in
Gentlemen,
person. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, Had some excitement at my house tonight with parenting stuff with my son. Sharing his insides with the kitchen floor and all over himself. So, yeah, good times. But happy to see you guys.
Speaking of puking all over ourselves, tell us what we did last week, buddy, and where we stand.
Well, Mike, we puked all over ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was last week's big winner, if you can call it that, at 1-3, and I say I was the big winner because I was only down 45 units for the week. Mike also 1-3, down 58 units for the week, and Dave, oh my goodness, the big bagel, 0 for 4.
Wait a minute.
I think you got one.
I took the Giants.
Yeah, you took the Giants plus 105.
Oh, right. I didn't take them with the points. I took them to win.
You took them outright.
Oh,
yep.
Yes.
Yep. Remember we said you're not getting much juice on that one, Dave, and you said, "Oh, that's okay."
Yeah. Ouch. So I did take a royal bath on that one.
To our credit, this is the first time all season, I believe, that any of us have gone 0 for 4. So, good for us.
Congrats,
first of all. And
after 2 weeks in a row earlier in the year where we went 4-0, now I get to be the guy that goes 0-4. Great.
Dave, I mean, Mike had to be minus 250 to be the first one to go 0-4.
Right. Easy money. Easy, right?
Oh my goodness.
All right. Yeah. Well, as the NCAA season has wound down, it's going to be a little more interesting, these bets, as we go through here. Steve, do you want to give us where we are year to date as an organization before we jump into this?
Yeah, year to date. I just put a bow on last week. As a group, we went 2-10 last week. Not great.
Sweet. Yeah.
Living up to our name,
Lose
with us.
Yeah. All right. So Mike has plummeted even further into the depths of debt at minus 140 units for the season. Dave coming back to earth at 172, still positive 172 units for the season. And I am positive 351 units for the season. So all said and done, we are still positive 383 units for this season. So still doing some good work. The last couple of weeks been rough. We've hit the extent of our tether, and we're now bouncing around under the bridge. Jumping analogy there, but hopefully we got
overall though, good work. Really. See, year to date, and we started this, folks, if you don't remember, really coinciding with the NFL season. So, a decent now amount of data and showing as a team, and I am going to glom on to the team part of that, even though my record isn't helping. So wonderful work, boys. I've got 3 pro picks and 1 college this week. So I'll get it started right out the gate. This piece of trash organization.
Oh no, the Cleveland Browns. Here we go.
Screw them. Screw the quarterback. He looked really rusty last week, and I think it's going to take a good month, if not more, until next season for him to get back into shape. And the Bengals are playing out of their minds right now, so I'm going to take the Bengals -6 versus the trashy Cleveland Browns. You live in Cincinnati, not Cleveland.
You
For
live
over
it, yeah, right.
30 years. Was that Sam White said?
Yeah, that was
Show
Sam
some
White.
class.
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
Yeah, you
The
represent
funniest
it.
thing that I thought about the Browns highlights this last week, Deshaun Watson's playing, and they show the highlights, and well, Deshaun Watson didn't play very well, and they show him on the sidelines, like holding his jersey like this, and that's it.
Right.
There were no highlights of him throwing the ball, doing anything. Of course, the Browns get 3 defensive touchdowns. I just thought it was hilarious that they said he didn't play well, but yet all we saw was him standing on the sidelines.
Right. No, good work. So 30 units for that. Stevie, what do you got, buddy?
Well, Mike, great minds think alike. Neither of
Nice.
us went 0-4 last week. So I'll go ahead and jump on the Bengals with you. I just looked it up. I see it at -5.5. So if Dave will give us the extra half point there, I'll take the Browns. I'm sorry, not the Browns, the Bengals at -5.5. I'll do 30 units on that as well.
Nice.
They're just not very good. Deshaun Watson has not played a lot of football, and the Bengals seem to be hitting their stride. They're at full velocity right now. So I think that spread's too low. Bengals win by 17, I think, but I'll just do the 5.5 point spread.
Yeah, no, sounds good. For me, the first game that I saw, I literally could not believe that this was the case. The Vikings
yes
at the Lions. The Lions are favored by 2 points in this game. It's Minnesota
running
is
away in the other direction.
Sure. Minnesota is getting no respect. The Lions are certainly on a roll. They've won 4 of their last 5, but there's no way in hell they should be favored by 2 against Minnesota. So I'm taking Minnesota outright. I didn't look at the odds there.
Got it. +110.
+110, and I'm going to put 25 units on that.
I'm sure that's what they call a square pick, right, Steve? Where everyone's picking what seems blatantly obvious, and that's because Vegas wants you to.
I'm not so sure about that, Mike. I've heard a lot of chatter about people liking the Lions in this game. So
wow.
Yeah. So I am not sure what to think about that one. That line confused me, and people being on the Lions confused me even more. The Vikings haven't been great, as we've talked about before. Like, they've been good, not great. They've won a lot of 1-score games. The Lions have lost a lot of 1-score games. So these two teams might be closer than their records tell us.
Yeah, and if anyone listens to the marathon we just taped for our NFL podcast, I like the Lions a lot to make a run towards the playoffs here at the end. So, all right, Dave, you're a braver man than both of us, because I went screaming the other direction when I was looking at that game.
So what do you got for your next pick, Mike?
I have the Miami Dolphins and the Chargers.
Yes, at the Chargers.
At the Chargers. I'm going to go for the over of 51.5 for 30 units. This just screams points. Miami really wants to get their offense back clicking. And I just think that these two teams are going to light it up. I don't see a lot of defense, especially on the Chargers side. So if I can get a couple scores out of Herbert and the boys, Miami takes care of the rest, I think. 51.5 over. Comments, concerns, regurgitations.
I love that one. Dave took the under on the Dolphins last week, and you and I both said, with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on the field, are you nuts? And then he did not win that bet, although it was because of the 49ers, not because of the Dolphins.
Right, yes.
But still went over. And the Dolphins defense is bad. I mean, they let people score at will. So I like the over on that game.
Yeah, I agree, obviously. Stevie, what do you got, buddy?
Well, everyone knows I'm a Jets fan, and we have had a bad run of quarterbacks for, I don't know, the majority of my life.
Yep.
And we have two of the Jets' former quarterbacks playing each other this week in Seattle. Sam Darnold versus Geno Smith. I could not leave this podcast without putting a few units on this game. I couldn't do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the spread on this, Seahawks are favored by 4.5 at home against a bad Carolina team. Give me the Seahawks minus the 4.5.
Oh yeah.
This is a fun game for me, so I'm just going to put 15 units on it. But I do feel pretty good about that 4.5 point spread for Seattle. I think Tyler Lockett will have a big day in this game. Carolina cannot cover slot receivers, so I'll take the as Mike would call them, the Sea Chickens.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Fair enough. Any worries about running back for the Sea Chickens, or Kenneth Walker's hurt? I'm not sure who else they're still throwing out there.
Yeah, no, I know Kenneth Walker's hurt. I think Travis Homer is hurt. They have somebody named Tony Jones. It doesn't seem to matter in Seattle. They always come up with these guys, and then they go run for 75 yards, and everything's fine. So hopefully that's the case here. I think that is affecting the spread, but it's not enough for me to shy away from it.
Fair enough.
My pick, and you took all of my thunder, Mike. Miami at the Chargers, so this scares me a little bit. I totally am with you. The over 51.5. I think it screams points as well. So there's that for me, just like Mike. So bound to get destroyed, and 25 units on that for me.
This is now have a 12-9 classic written all over it.
Yes, it does.
All right, my last NFL pick, and this is the wild one, folks. Buckle your seatbelts. You guys, as you fans might know, Dave, huge Bills fan, Stevie, a big Jets fan. They're facing up. I want to be part of the action. I want everyone to notice me and affirm me. So I'm going to take in that game a very same bet I took last week. Both teams to score a touchdown and a field goal in both halves. I think this game has the potential to really hit the pinball machine on the scoring. So both teams, touchdown and a field goal in both halves. That's going to pay plus 2,200, gentlemen. Plus 2,200 for 20 units. Yeah, 20 units on that. So I almost hit that bet last week. Was Niners Dolphins, as we were talking about, and the Niners just did not kick a field goal in the second half. So I'll give this one another shot.
Does that count if you almost hit it?
No, it does not count. Not at all. So
at plus 2,200, that's 22 to 1. Right. And that's what they call a long shot, which means it's probably not going to hit. Mike calling his shot with a high scoring game, even though the last time these two teams played, it was 20-17. And
Mike White wasn't playing.
Mike White was not playing. And I do believe I saw a weather report that's going to be pretty cold and a good chance of snow. Yeah. So
bring it on.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But so Dave touched on the Minnesota-Detroit game up there in Detroit. I feel like I have a piece of Detroit every week. I don't like this trend. I'm not doing well with them. But that's okay. I feel pretty good about this one. So in that game, we have a tight end who plays for the Vikings, who used to play for the Detroit Lions, TJ Hawkinson. And I just feel like he's a time bomb waiting to go off. And the over-under on his receiving yards for the game is set at 48.5. So give me TJ Hawkinson, the Hawkman, over 48.5 receiving yards, and I will do 35 units on that one.
And what will that pay odds-wise?
The odds are, good question. The odds are minus 120, so a little bit lower than the normal minus 110 that you get.
Okay. I like that a lot. I mean, the guy is not a blocker; he's a receiver, a tight end. There's no question about that in anybody's mind. And with the weapons that Minnesota has, he just fits in perfectly.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think they're just going to feed him and let him go off in Detroit.
Sure. David, what do you got, buddy?
Wow. So I'm taking a page out of Mike's book here. And
Oh,
so
God.
you have to know
One
that
bad
this
week and it's
is-
gone.
and this is gonna be interesting. So I'm taking a 3-player parlay that I saw that is called Reel 'em In.
Okay.
So it is 3
Fast fishing?
receivers. Yes,
Oh.
reel them in. No, reel them in like receptions. So it is Tyreek Hill over 7.5 receptions. Stephon Diggs over 6.5 receptions.
Ooh,
And
sauce on 'em.
Justin Jefferson over 6.5 receptions.
I like all those.
Yeah, it's plus 587.
Oh, that's good. That was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do 25 units on that.
Yeah, I do like that. The last time they played, the Bills kept Stephon Diggs away from Sauce for the most part. I
Yeah.
kind of expect them to do that again because he only plays on one side of the field. Usually that's what the Jets do. DJ Reed on one
Right.
side, Sauce on the other. So and there were not very many routes where Diggs was actually targeted with Sauce on him. So yeah, I like that bet.
Yeah,
For a long shot, I like it.
yeah.
Think this is how it goes. Help me, Dave. Boy, you know, Mike, I usually don't agree with your picks, but this one sounds like it's really got a chance.
So you're saying there's a
So
chance.
you're saying there's a chance.
The kibosh.
So for my last pick, gentlemen, and I texted you both earlier, I couldn't find a line on this game on DraftKings, which is who we usually use to set the lines. So I had to go to Caesars Sportsbook for this. But sit back Saturday afternoon about 3 p.m. and tune in and get just a nice piece of Americana. You know, no agendas, just everybody feeling good, singing patriotic songs. Army versus Navy in Philadelphia. I'm going to go with the under, gentlemen. Under 32 and a half.
Oh my God.
Under
32
that.
and a half. Oh,
32 and a half, minus 110 for 20
Oh.
units.
wow.
I mean, this game's got 9-6, especially if there's weather. I love it.
Before I give my last pick, did you guys see what's going on with Louisville and Cincinnati?
The
head coaches?
swap or-
The
yeah.
head coach, yeah. So the head coach is leaving Louisville for Cincinnati.
And then they're
They're
playing in the
playing-
bowl game.
They're playing the bowl game at Fenway. And because of the dimensions of Fenway, there's only room for one sideline.
Yes.
So both teams are going to be on the same sideline.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Somebody's awkward.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, and they
just
haven't been
saying.
able to get this bowl game going with COVID and everything else. So it's their first
Yeah.
real attempt at it. So that makes it even funnier.
I'm interested to see what it looks like. But
Yeah.
what do you got for us, Stevie?
Well, I have so this bet is the next MLB reporter to get jumped in San Francisco, and I have John Heyman minus 1,000.
Oh, very, very not easy on the sports reporters this particular round of media. Yeah,
No.
John Heyman, boy, that
Yeah.
was ugly
Yeah, that
for
was rough.
sure.
Yeah, I wanted to squeeze that in, but no, my last bet, I took a little bit of a long shot as well. This is a fun one. You guys both seem to like the over in the Dolphins Chargers game, and I think it's pretty solid too. So I saw this prop and I thought I'd go for it. So it's Tyreek Hill to have 100 receiving yards, which means that he will probably hit Dave's over on reception
7.5
if he gets there.
Yep.
And Raheem Mostert to have 50 rushing yards. So both of those
Okay.
things to happen pays plus 330. So I believe I have 20 units left on that for that. So yeah, 20 units on Tyreek Hill, 100 receiving yards, Raheem Mostert, 50 rushing yards.
Excellent. I like that a lot. I think those are very attainable numbers for both of those players.
Yes.
Good for you. Dave, do you need to call your personal best friend Nate Geary to get this final pick of the podcast, or you can handle this on your own?
Nope. I can handle this on my own. And how dare you challenge me to say that I can't do a double dip when there is no Syracuse football. So watch me.
Okay.
So Jeremy Grant, the former Syracuse
Yeah.
University basketball
Oh.
player, who is having a tremendous year
Yes, he
in
is.
Portland. So this is the Wish is Granted pick as they play the Nuggets tonight. So Jeremy Grant, 20 plus points, 3 plus assists, and 3 plus made 3-pointers, which is
And when's that game?
this is tonight, Thursday night.
It's probably happening right now as we talk.
Yeah, it might be on by now. And that is
I'm sorry, hit me with that again, Dave. I just want to comprehend.
so Jeremy Grant, 20 plus points, 3 plus assists, and 3 plus made 3-pointers.
I bet the
don't
odds are
think
pretty
that's
nice on that.
Plus
Yeah.
650.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
And
Three assists might be the tough part. Not
well,
much of a passer.
he's averaging that. So and
They
and
quite
my,
literally just tipped off. So
my final
nothing.
25 units.
All right. So a couple of Hail Marys for Dave here this week.
Yep,
Yeah.
I am just giving it a try.
You know, guy goes 0 for 4 one time. And he
One
finds
time.
himself swimming in Mike's shark-infested waters.
One time.
One time.
One
He's gonna
time
show
during
up
the
next
war.
week with like cigarette hanging out of the corner of his mouth, red-eyed. I got 4 3-team parlays
I've got 4 3-team parlays.
talking out of the hole in the middle of his throat. Rah, rah, rah.
Wow.
Just scratching his neck. Nobody will take this action. Somebody help me out.
I had to lay it off. Whatever that means. Very interesting. So, gentlemen, always a great time here on Moves with Us. We're having fabulous success, especially on YouTube for some reason. We don't want to slow that momentum. So continue to hit like and subscribe. Continue to give us your feedback. We appreciate it. We're going to post some of our stats and try to get a little more interactive that way, advertising how well the team is doing over the year. But until then, I hope you have a good time. If you do have a gambling problem or think you need some help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In your state, you can easily access some gambling helplines if you need it. BetterHelp.com, also a good resource. We encourage you to do that. And we thank you for listening here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5.
Mike White.